delivering cargo,
cruise and ferry services with innovation,
reliability, and excellence.
Same commitment, expanded vision. Visit us at www.mpocsvg.com.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Modern Port Operations Company, moving forward together.
All right, then St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's interview after interview after interview.
This the season?
Yeah, this is the season. So, of course, we're going to be conducting an interview with the SVG Port Authority. And then
Modern Port.
Correction. Modern Port
Operations.
Correction. And good morning to you.
Yes. Pleasant good morning. It's a pleasure always to be in the studio of WEFM. Would want to take this opportunity first and foremost to extend warm Christmas greetings to the entire hard-working staff of MPOC, to include the board of directors and management. I also want to extend greetings to the customs team as well. We have had an exceptional relationship over the years, and we have formed a good bond, and especially at this time of the year where it is so important that we work closely to ensure that the customers, that they can receive their cargo in time for Christmas. It is indeed a pleasure to be in the studio of WEFM. Thank you.
All right, so we are joined by Mr. Walwyn Nichols. He is the Chief Operating Officer, of MPOC. So, Mr. Nichols, you are not new to the studios of WEFM, so welcome back.
Certainly not.
So let us know. So you've moved into a new facility, given our last conversation.
Correct.
You've moved into a new facility. So let us know what is happening, how things have been, and what we can expect for this busy period, December 2025.
Well, the Newport facility is indeed an exceptional one. We have looked forward to it for quite some time. I would say by no means it's perfect, nothing is, but we have already seen increase in productivity as a result of the availability to have two vessels alongside at any given time. Close proximity between the quay and where we store cargo. And when we look at the number of containers that we have received thus far, especially for this busy part of the year, had we been at Camden Park, for example, we would have been having a difficult time accommodating all those containers. So we have seen increase in productivity as a result of the Newport facility, and I'm certain that the shipping agents, they are very excited thus far and for the future outlook. We have had some limitations, of course. The container freight station where we do our personal effects, I must say, that is a good facility in terms of thought process behind design and so forth, but it has its limitations because ideally it hasn't been configured to accommodate the personal effects type cargo that we see and the volumes that we see. And in addition to that, the old tradition behind dealing with personal effects cargo, wherein the cargo is generally cleared at different times throughout the day, but in terms of the actual collecting of the cargo, that would take place at the back end of the evening. So there is always the need for considerable amount of space where you can hold over cargo after the cargo is examined. But whatever the situation is, we know we have had customers who suffer inconvenience interfacing with that particular facility. And we certainly apologize for the inconvenience that the customers have been faced with thus far, but we are working assiduously to ensure that going forward, that we gradually work out whatever challenges, issues we are having at that CFS facility to ensure that the customers, they are now able to have a better experience interfacing with that facility.
And by personal, you use the term personal
effects.
You mean like the barrels and boxes and
that
so
sort of
forth.
thing,
Okay.
yeah. But one of the things we have done since then, but before I do go on to that, let me just indicate we have had an abnormal November month. Abnormal in the sense that we have had an increase in LCL containers, which is same type that the personal effects would come in, by 65%. In November alone, we had 244 20 equivalent unit. In other words, just picture it as 244 20-foot containers with personal effects. Prior to this November, last year, we would have had 146 for the same period. It's almost an increase of 100 TEUs. And that in itself would have created some challenges for us as well at the CFS. But what we have done thus far is that we have now spread our operations out. It is what we generally do around Christmas time, because Christmas at a port is not normal operation. The volumes are very far higher than the average volume per month prior to, let's say, November. And so we have spread our operations out. So we now operating out from Camden Park. We are at the Key Shed. We are at a port transit shed, and we are at the Newport facility. So we have four different locations from which we are running personal effects operations and other operations. The thing is, this is unprecedented because we have never done 4 locations in the past. And this in itself has to be a game changer, because it's now going to position us to ensure that at all the different locations, by allocating the workload, we now would position ourselves to close out strongly just prior to the Christmas holidays or the Christmas day. We normally set ourselves this ambitious task to close strongly, make sure that all the containers that are in our custody within a certain time frame before Christmas, that we can have those containers, the stuff and the cargo is accessible by the public. Fortunately for us this year, Christmas is on a Thursday, right? And we will see the normal vessel activities for that week starting around Wednesday. So those containers we certainly will not be able to get done.
Okay.
But from the week before, which interesting enough, the numbers weekly are large, 50-something boxes per week.
Wow.
Right? So it's a lot of containers with personal effects that have been coming in. So the spreading out of the operations over the 4 different locations will help us. We are also employing temporary workers, because in as much as we have in excess of 200 staff, by the time we start spreading the staff out, and mind you, all those staff, they're not in the operations department. We want persons who are frontline workers working in the operations department. So we will be employing, and we have started additional temporary workers to assist us at the 4 different locations to ensure that we are properly equipped to provide the service to our customers. We also will be doing extended hours, just merely to ensure that we are replenishing the warehouses so that customers can come in the following day and pick up their cargo. And we also have extended hours planned for the public who choose to utilize that facility that we have been making available, for many years. So we start on the 18th. I think that is Thursday the 18th.
The extended hours.
Yes, Thursday. Yeah, extended hours. We start on Thursday the 18th.
So next Thursday.
Right. Yes, the Thursday the 18th and the 19th. We will go from 8 up to 6 p.m. On Saturday, the 20th, we will go up until 4 p.m., 1 to 4 p.m. in terms of the extended hours. And on the 22nd and on the 23rd, we will go up to to 6 p.m. as well, right? We close early on Christmas Eve at 1 and on All Years at 1 as well. We have over the years been very flexible in how we treat with the customers. So you are on the port, you have done your transaction, and it's just a case for you to pick up your cargo. We are flexible. So in as much as we are saying that we close at 6, we would not turn our customers away because 6 o'clock has come. If it means that we have to go to 7 to make sure that each customer that remains at 6 receive the service and they can have their cargo.
But you don't want people abusing it either.
No, we don't want
Right.
we don't want people to abuse it. The other thing I want to note is that although we have spread the operations out, port space is still limited. It will always be limited. And we rely on the customers heavily for them to respond. When you receive notification that your cargo is available for pickup, we want you to take the opportunity to come visit the port and pick your cargo up. When you visit your agent, it would be necessary for you to inquire of your agent. If it is not mentioned, ask the question as to where your cargo is located, because we have 4 different locations and we do not want customers to show up at the wrong location. So if you do not have the information from the agent and you want to make a quick call to the port to inquire, you can call 4567 678 4567 678 and make an inquiry as to the location of your cargo. At the locations that I mentioned, as in the transit shed in Kingston, one-stop shop, Geese Shed, similar, Camden Park, and at the CFS at the Modern Port. So you go to those facilities, everything is being done. The customs is on hand to do the examination of your cargo, and subsequent to that, you can pay the customs, pay the cash, and then you should be ready to pick your cargo up. In terms of how we have opted to distribute the workload, we would have utilized some of our major consolidators as we distribute the workload across the 4 different locations. So for example, we have the Canadian barrels more so at the Geese Shed, where we have barrels coming through Arabes, being unpacked and stored for examination and the delivery thereafter. At Camden Park, we have Standard Caribbean shipping, as well as some personal effects out from the UK. Similarly, at Port Kingston Transit Shed, we have Standard Shippers, some personal effects from the UK as well, and some of the smaller consolidators. And mainly at the Modern Port would be the commercial type cargo and some of the smaller consolidators, to include not to say that Carib Trans is small. Carib Trans is a major consolidator as well, but we are accommodating Carib Trans at the Modern Port. So that's just a rough idea. So it's good for you as the importer to make that inquiry, so that you would go directly to that port facility or that location where your cargo is being kept, and then you can do your cargo clearance from there.
Okay. Let's say for persons who are not familiar with the process of collecting a barrel or clearing a box, what should they walk with when coming to clear an item?
It varies. It varies. It depends on which location you're going. So at the Geese Shed, the CFS at the Modern Port, and even at Camden Park, if you're going to any of those 3 port facilities, you will not be required to have a port pass.
All right.
So it's just a matter to come to the port. Of course, we encourage customers to leave children at home, because children really aren't allowed on the port. And it would also be a good thing to not come in groups. Maybe you could come by yourself, preferably, or maybe one other person with you if you're someone who might need some assistance, right? So you pick your paperwork up at the agent and ensure that you know where you'll be clearing your car and which location it is, and you visit that location.
And you walk with your ID.
ID would not be necessary at the 3 locations that I mentioned.
Okay.
ID will be required at the port transition. All of the other locations, to include the CFS at the modern port facility, Camden Park, and Geisha, they're all non-ISPS facilities. So you would not be required to bring your ID so you can get a pass.
Okay.
You would only need your ID to get a pass if you're going to the port transition. Yes.
Okay. And what about the flow of traffic for persons who, so I'm coming to clear a barrel or a box, right? And either I'm trying to come with my own transport or have someone meet me there to pick it up. How is the flow of traffic at all 4 locations actually? How is that going?
At the modern port facility, at the CFS, you really should be entering at Maka Street. That is in the vicinity of Agricultural Import Warehouse, where Spirit Cutler used to have a little shop on the corner.
That's close to Braxa.
Correct. You enter down at that side and you would drive up. The CFS would be the first building on the port property that you would meet on your right hand side. That's the CFS. There's a parking lot to accommodate the collection of cargo, and limited parking for some customers. But also along that same public road, there is also parking just off from where the Acon office building is, right on your right hand side as well, coming up. So going to the CFS to pick up cargo, I don't think it would be that taxing or challenging. At Geisha, you have a vast amount of space as well, because previous to the Christmas operations, we would utilize Geisha for paid parking. Once we get into the Christmas season, we discontinue paid parking and just leave that facility primarily for our Christmas operations. If you're going there on a Monday, it might be a touch challenging, because we also share the Geese facility with the traffickers who are shipping cargo down to Trinidad on a Monday. So that is something to note. But outside of going there on a Monday, the remaining days really should be hassle-free getting in and out. On the main compound at the transit shed, that as well can be a bit challenging depending on which day as well, because we also have on Fridays where we have to accommodate the traffickers coming back from Trinidad or Barbados, right? So Camden Park previous would have been challenging getting into the main shed outside the gate. But with the reduced activities in Camden Park, I believe it should be not that difficult to get in and out from the main shed in Camden Park.
I guess with the 4 locations, it helps to spread things out, so you won't have necessarily congestion at any one in particular, unnecessarily, I suppose. Yeah.
So certainly so. Certainly so.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else that you want to leave with us? I kind of feel like you covered everything, because you was writing down questions and you spoke. You answered a lot.
I think I would have covered everything, but I often seize opportunity like this to recognize the staff. The staff at the port, sometimes their performance go unnoticed, and the staff has always come through for us. Outside of the Christmas season, we have had heightened activities during during the eruption of the last Software volcano, and the staff was there for us during difficult times. When burial would have hit us, the staff was again there for us. So I want to just remember the staff for their efforts and their hard work, and I'm certain I could speak positively and do so with some conviction that the staff will not fail us. The staff will come through again for us this December. So thanks a mil, staff, for your effort, for your hard work. We really do appreciate the effort that you all put in daily. And for the public at large, always remember the staff at the Port Authority as well as the customs. They put the merry in front Christmas.
All right.
And that is what we have been doing over the many years. So
I see we
thanks,
have a
staff.
call. I could put on the headphones. I see we have a call, so let's see.
Yeah.
Put on the headphones. Hi, caller. You have a question for Mr. Nichols?
Actually, it's not a question. It's just a congratulatory explanation of port operation.
Okay. Go right ahead.
And you should actually send that to every radio station. Very nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thanks, caller. All right. Final thing before you go, though. I noticed you were speaking about hiring of additional persons to work. Has that hiring has it closed already, or are you still hiring persons?
We near wrapping up, because
Okay.
normally what we will do, we will look at a quota. So based on the anticipated workload, what we will do is to make a determination as to the number of temporary workers that we will want to have employed to work alongside our permanent staff in order to realize the mandate to have all these containers, this stuff in time for Christmas.
Okay, so if somebody is listening, let's say an over 18-year-old school child or whatever, and they want to make that inquiry, who do they call, or what's the number to call? Oh,
They can make the inquiry at the same number I called earlier on, 4567-678, and ask for the HR manager. Normally the list of workers ideally will be generated and be sent to us for employment of the workers.
okay.
But if you're listening and you still need to make an inquiry, feel free to do so.
Okay. All righty. So
All right, before we wrap up, can you just give us the extended hours?
Once more.
Yeah.
Right. So the extended hours, we start on
18th.
Thursday the 18th. So on the 18th, 19th, so Thursday the 18th, Friday the 19th, Monday the 22nd, Tuesday the 23rd. For those 4 days, we will operate from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And on Saturday the 20th, we will operate from 8 to 12, and then we would continue from 1 until 4. Often enough, we would set it on paper like that, but it is quite likely that based on the number of customers that come in on that Saturday morning, there's not going to be a break between 12 and 1.
right.
So, but that is how we usually would set it out. So, I mean, it's really 8 until 4 on a Saturday. Put it like that. Yeah. So, the extended hours for the public, I would say this openly, is something that we have done for many years, many years. The patronage has always left a lot to be desired, but we continue to do it nonetheless. But it is the best time to come at the port and conduct your business. If you're looking to clear cargo, come at that time. Especially if you know your way around, it's possible that you can be in and out in about half an hour.
But I remember a couple of years ago, you guys used to open on Sundays.
And that's why we discontinued the Sunday, because the Sunday essentially would have been almost like flushing money down the drain. Because what we look for is something that appeals to the public at large. They can see the value in doing it. And we are yet to really see that value where customers are gravitating towards it. So you see, for example, Jack's open on a Sunday in Kingston. And you see a lot of persons come down in Kingston and they're shopping.
Right.
It is what we are trying to encourage at the port. When we open for extended hours, we want the public to capitalize on it. That's what we want. They want them to capitalize on it because it's an easy time. It's an easy time to get your transaction done. You can get in and out. And I put it that way because the patronage has not been good. However, if we start seeing an influx of customers and they're utilizing it, quite naturally the wait time would increase. But as it stands right now, where the response has been poor, to say the least, for the customers who are looking to clear cargo from us during this Christmas, and your cargo would be available around this time, take the opportunity to use this time.
Okay.
It's the best time to come to the port and conduct business.
Okay. All right. So here concludes our interview with Mr. Walwyn Nichols, Chief Operating Officer of the, let me see if I get it, Modern Port Operating Company.
Operations.
Modern Port Operations Company.
Or you can just simply say
MPOC.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, it's a pleasure being in the studio of WEFM. I remember my first time being here, but I could say now I'm almost a part of the WEFM family.
You are.
I've been here. So thanks again for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
You're very welcome.
All right,
We wish you and the team all the best for this season.
Thanks, Emil. All right.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right.